And
All
ready?
right. All right. Well, we are at I would say at the top of the hour, but it is the entrance to our call time. So welcome everyone. My name is Carolyn Whiteman, and I have the honor tonight of hosting what we call our monthly OPA call. And OPA stands for Organic Products Associates, and it is the family tree that comes from all of us who have the wonderful honor of being part of the Loomis organization. I was actually not directly sponsored by Mary Loomis, although she was my original mentor. There was a person in between. And funny story that I will tell real quickly, not funny story. The person who was in between, I believe, also sponsored maybe one or two other master coordinators in the very early days of our business. And this person who became a friend, who was a wonderful support team, made a decision that she was going to leave the business. She was single at the time that we first met, and I was a referral, and she was single at the time. She worked with Mary, and she sponsored me, and I believe two other business organizations that became master coordinators. And she met someone, got married, and apparently one of the conditions of the marriage was the then husband chose that he did not want her in the business. And so Mary resisted for 6 months or a year. Eventually she left the business, and of course left behind the entire business organization that we represent. So tonight we are partly members of the OPA organization, but we also have guests, and it is an honor to be a part of this great team. So thank you for being here. I get the pleasure tonight of welcoming some just wonderful stories. And the topic for us is, well, I don't know what we call the topic, but it's what's it like to get back to actually being in person in the business and really being hands-on with the stories that have built the business organization that for us goes back well over 50 years. So it is my pleasure to welcome a couple of special guests. And for those who don't know, we have this wonderful community in Shackley where we get to welcome guests that are not even part of our business organization. And yet we work together, we support each other, we are friends, we are extended family. So it is my pleasure to welcome them. And I'm going to start out with Ruth Kutz, future presidential master coordinator. Ruth is from Chicago. Last time I saw her, we were in Hawaii together and on a Shackley business trip. And Ruth, I would love for you to tell just whatever of your personal story you want as a background, but even more importantly, what is the current news and the sort of resurrection of what has happened with you. So let's welcome future presidential master coordinator Ruth Kutz.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. It's a real honor to be here. And for those of you that don't know my story, I'm actually I was a Shackley kid. I keep still saying I'm a Shackley kid, but I'm 62. So I can still be a kid at 62, right? But mom and dad were introduced to Shackley 50 years ago. And I got a Shackley business for my 18th birthday. Woo-hoo, what everybody wanted, that Shackley distributorship. And but I did take advantage of it a couple of years later, and I was driving my first Shackley bonus car by the time I was 21. And life happened in there, and I got married and I got unmarried, and I didn't want to be around all these happy Shackley people, because I don't know if you guys ever heard, we're sort of referred to as a cult sometimes, because I don't know if it's all the B complex we take and how positive we always usually are. But I stopped doing Shackley for a few years and just turned my business back over to my folks and went to work in the corporate world. And one day I got the call saying, gee, thanks for everything you've done for the last 5 years, but we don't need you anymore. And it's devastating when you get that call or that meeting with the boss. And I said, you know what? This is the signal. I'm supposed to be doing Shackley. I want to be in control of my own destiny. And it's pretty much been all I've done since then. Now, we lost my dad suddenly in 2006. Actually, the day after we came back from the 50th anniversary out in San Francisco. He died suddenly of a heart attack. And at that time, I had my own coordinatorship underneath mom and dad. And so it was easier for me to take care of one business instead of two, because dad did all the bookkeeping for mom's business anyway. So we joined partnership in 2006 and grew it to senior key for a brief few months. And then it fell back down to key. And unfortunately, we lost my mom to pancreatic cancer in November of 2020 after just a very short time. She got diagnosed in July and she was gone by November. And thankfully, for all the Shackley she did take, she really only suffered maybe the last week or so. She did really well up until the end, and it's taken me a little bit of time to go from, we had this wonderful partnership where she did all the stuff I hated to do and I did all the stuff she hated to do, and it worked well, to now it's kind of all on my shoulders. And I have hired a couple of people to help, but it's not the same as mom, but I'm trying. And we really have done little to nothing with the business. And I thank God every day for this business, because it has maintained and sustained. And actually my 1099 was $101,000, which I was a little surprised at. I didn't think it was going to be that big, but that was pretty exciting. And I got really excited when Shackley announced the 20% off on all the youth products. So about 2 weeks ago, I printed an invitation, and let me just real quick show it to you here. I took this picture from somewhere on Shackley's website and cropped it and loaded it up into Canva and just said youth open house. This is the one I did in November, but it's the same picture. But the only thing I did different was I offered 4 times. They could come at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4:30, or 7:30. And I printed this on cardstock and handed it out at a couple of networking meetings I was at. I invited all of my local customers. And as a result, as Carolyn said
Get ready for a drum roll, you guys. Get ready for this.
This is pretty exciting. I had 23 people RSVP, yes, they were going to come. Of those 23, 9 ended up reaching out saying, oh, I've got bronchitis, or the dog died, or some of these excuses people give you. Do any of you ever giggle and wonder, really? That's pretty creative. But anyway, 9 of them actually reached out, said, sorry, can't make it, but when can we reschedule before the sale is over on the 20th? So I had 14 that showed. Of those 14, 5 were existing members who placed orders that day with not only an entire youth kit, but they added all sorts of other things, including the $10 sticks. And we have 6 new members that came in with the kit, with the youth kit. One of them came in as a new ambassador and is actually sponsoring her first member tonight. And there's 2 other people that were there that I still haven't followed up with, but I plan to do that. And the total PV so far is just over 3,000 PV. Okay. And notice 6 new members. So that means 2 star clubs. And it was really a fun and exciting time. And we just sent out the invitation, and you've all done facials. It's not rocket science, and keep it simple. All I did was a veggie tray and a fruit tray. But here was the other interesting thing that I did. And my Suzanne Belgio, you guys know Suzanne, some of you, she was with me in Maui. She's like, you're putting too much stuff out. I go, I'm not going to talk about the stuff, but I want that stuff out. So I have all the protein cans lined up on my counter in the kitchen, and we're having the meeting in the dining room. I'm not talking about the kitchen, but it's all there. All the snack bars and meal bars cut up. And then I don't know if, okay, I learned this from Pam Carey, so this may or may not be new to you, but you know, you can go to Aldi or a lot of stores and buy the 10-ounce water bottles. And what I do is then pour off about 2 ounces off of it, because it just makes it easier to mix up. And then every one of the sticks that we have, so each of the teas, the sustained energy boost, is mixed up in there. And then I tape the packaging onto the front of it. And then you have the little sample cups, and they can go over there and they can taste each one of the things to sample. So you're not, and it's self-serve, so it's not like it needs a whole lot of attention. You explain it to them and people love it. And then I have them there and they're able to take a sample home if they like that particular flavor and they want to do it. I even have the triple defense mixed up and the hydrate sticks, and even the one that a lot of us don't really care for the flavor of, that new peach mango thing. But some people like it, and that's good. So I had different things around for them to check out and look while after they were doing the stuff. Didn't force anybody to do it, but I had people ordering stuff that they hadn't ordered before, and the new people were just so excited. So it did turn out to be really, really good. And one of my builders who's been dormant for a little over a year and a half due to deaths in her family has rearisen. Yeah, whatever. But what her husband suggested is, why don't we all offer free facial Fridays? And I'm like, well, how cool of an idea is that? Now, I wouldn't want to do it every Friday, every month, but I haven't created an invite for that yet. But what I do want to share, the other thing is the order form that I created. And I had one somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Nope. Does the order form showing? Or are you still seeing the invite?
We see the invite right now.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop that share. Okay.
And incidentally, all of these things that we show as attachments will be available when you get the reprint, the replay of this call, which will be on opastuff.org. And Scott says these will be available sometime tomorrow. So you'll be able to see the real thing. So go ahead, Ruth.
I have the advanced anti-aging regimen, and it lists all the products that are in it, the hydration regimen with those, and then also the personalized one. And then the one that they don't get the free stuff with, because I should actually put on here that they get the clay masks or the free masks, and I don't, but it didn't matter. But they all love this, and they circled which one they tried. Because one thing we did, now that we have 4 moisturizers, we split the face in half with the serums. And then we did the top half of the face, so from cheekbone up, the AM treatments. So on the hydration side, we did the Moisture Lock cream, and on the activating serum side, we did that one. And then we then split the bottom. So they actually got to try all 4 moisturizers on their face, which was, I've talked to a few other people since then, and they're like, oh, I was just having them do stuff on their hand. So that's something different that we did. And then the other thing we did, and I'm sure some of you guys do this too, while they have the mask on, I'm talking about nutrition from the inside out. So we're talking about Vitally and Life Shake and collagen. And I've got the fact that it's only $10 through the 21st. And then a little bit about B complex and stress relief, which I can't imagine a world without that. And then I actually have all the information they need to give us if I don't have a computer or the internet goes out. So then I can take it home and just manually do it into the computer if that happens to be the case. So that worked out really, really well too. So that's been my exciting weekend, and I believe I am having a free facial Friday on Friday, but just kind of want to fine tune the times that I do it. I still haven't announced it, but yep, that's what's happening here in Chicago right now.
Ruth, that is just stunningly awesome. Stunningly awesome. What I should do is give us a couple of minutes. Does anybody have a specific question they want to ask? Because we got more, but I know that while Ruth is here, anybody got any specific questions? Yes, Mary Beth.
So Ruth, did you do everybody together? I mean, I know you did different times, but at that time slot, did everybody sit around the table and you did? Okay, it wasn't a floating thing in and out.
No,
it was
this one, I've done the floating things too, and that just kind of gets a little bit mixed up. So as people came in, I actually send them into the bathroom right away and with the the cleansing gel and tell them to wash their face and take off their eye makeup. Did have one person who had so much eye makeup on it wouldn't come off with the gel cleanser, but eye makeup remover to the rescue. Of course, it's not available, but I have my stash. And then I had them all come out to the table, and then we did the mask, half and half on some people's faces, unless they said they were really dry skinned, and then I didn't even have them try the clay, and then rinsed it off and just talked about each product. Oh, the other thing that I did, do you guys know about Frank Painter's two other things. Thank you for asking. We had everybody that came after we washed their face take a selfie. Okay, I really wanted to have the pictures, but I know a lot of people aren't comfortable giving you pictures of them without makeup on, but I wanted them to see it. So they did the selfie right after we washed their faces. And then after we did the BB cream, they did the selfie again. They were all like just in awe of it. And even the one woman's like, look at in the mirror, she's like, look at the difference in my eye. And you guys, it's just such a cool thing to be back in person and seeing the reactions, and when we know these products work so well. And then the other thing, Frank Painter has I don't even know, I should have thought to pull it up sooner. But it's all these before and afters, and some of them I had never seen before. So if you let me do a little dance here, and maybe I can find it real quick. The before and afters, nope, they're not there. Hold on, I shared. You know what? How about if we let somebody else talk and I can look and see if I can find it?
Okay.
And then we can
Okay.
come back to it, and I can share the link with you for you to to include in everything tomorrow.
Terrific. Awesome. Well, first of all, is this like outrageously exciting? I mean, I'm so inspired, and the possibilities of honestly finally being back together with people, and the reality that this is really who we are and how it's created. So thank you so much, Ruth, and we'll come
My
back
pleasure.
to you. We'll come back to you. I also want to remind me, we're going to talk about a way that you can get some samples. So remind me, we'll come back to that. But the second thing I want to introduce is, I was so honored to hear Mary Beth Stanley and also Elle Russell, who we get to work with. They set up something that I just think was so awesome. And so Mary Beth and Elle, would you guys give us an overview, whoever wants to
And
start?
can you let me share my screen?
Absolutely.
And I think
believe-
Mary Beth will start talking once I get my screen up.
Okay, yep, I think Scott said that.
And then I'll interrupt her because I like to do that.
Okay, that's great. I love it.
It says it's disabled.
Scott, can you enable Eleanor Russell?
Yep, hang
for
on.
her screen share?
Yeah, we bounce off each other really well.
Hmm.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, goody, goody. Okay. And then, boom. It's coming up
There you go.
onto the view. Is it there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Share the love. I love
So
it.
Mary Beth, take it away.
Well, so we just decided that it was time to do some customer appreciation. We used to do that years and years ago when we were live, and it's been a long time since we've gotten together. So started out called it Share the Love Customer Appreciation Event, and Eleanor and I partnered together, and those are that share what you love about Shackley was part of our testimonials. That was just a sheet we printed, and we'll share this with you. And the Share the Love raffle and how you earned prizes for that. But Eleanor, those are kind of there we go. So let's start out. We found a little coffee shop, a wine bar place that's kind of is new since the pandemic. So this was obviously just for local customers. And they didn't charge us anything to use this little half of their building, half of their shop if we did it during their regular work hours. They were happy. We ended up with 40 guests there, and 39 had never heard of them before. So we think we did them a pretty big favor because we got 39 people into their shop. Everybody loved the shop. It's got some really interesting ambiance. The only work we did, we bought through the cafe. They provided a charcuterie, and we just did veggies, fruits, cheese and crackers, and there were literally like 4 pieces of chocolate, but we told them heavy veggies, fruit, so that we did not have meat, and it was also gluten-free. And we gave each guest, we arranged with the cafe, each guest got a drink voucher. So we just agreed ahead of time what the value of the voucher would be. She was supposed to have a what's the word, Eleanor? I want
A drink list.
yeah, a drink list. There's a word for that. Anyway, they didn't actually have that together, but they just ran a tab. But every guest got a raffle ticket for showing up and a drink ticket, and they could go get anything from a drip coffee to something that was a wine margarita, and anything in between. And their drinks are particularly good. Everybody from the drip decaf to the margarita thingy, everybody loved what they got. I mean, so people were happy to get, be treated for a drink. The only decorations you see there in the background, we had 2 sets of balloons, and we had beautiful door prizes that were just in pretty bags and set up. That was all the decorating we did.
You forgot to mention you put snack bars out.
I did, and they actually were gone by the end. People just took them. They didn't eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, they took them home, and that was okay. We thought the charcuterie was not going to be big enough. We had ordered for 25, and people Eleanor kept calling and inviting right up until the day of. And so we went from 25 to 40 in the last 2 days, like the day of even. So we'd already ordered the food, and we, of course, were having so much fun that Eleanor and I totally forgot to take pictures. So we stole some pictures from some of our guests, and that's all we got. But again, 40 people, each of us had about 20. And the ladies on the bottom right there, that was fun. The one on the far right was one of my customers who became a customer during COVID. We'd never met. We had communicated for 3 years virtually. She showed up, and I was thinking, she's not going to know any of these other people because most of the rest of us knew each other in some way, or everybody shows up, and one of her best friends is there in Eleanor's group that they didn't know that they were both Shackley customers. So they had a wonderful time. There's our beautiful
Yeah, we kind of did a drop-in format so people could come in when they wanted to between 4 and 6, which is a really good, people going home from their jobs or whatever, they could get to this new place. And then by having the name tags, we could introduce people to each other, so we could cross table this thing. And I think a bunch of new relationships got started because there were 4 people that are going to do an event together, because there was a financial planner there was somebody that had a recreation opportunity, and so on and so forth. And I've heard since this, thank you for introducing me to these people. These are the neatest people. And when I go to Carolyn's meetings, I always talk about one of our best products is our Shackley community. And if we build it, I think it will sustain itself. And I don't think I've done as good a job as I'm planning to do going forward. And this event really helped me see the value of doing this kind of an event. I'm going to move it on. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go, Mary Beth. Go back. It's yours.
Oh, well, there were, that's again, I staged that. It was much prettier there, but the door prizes that we offered. And so then each person got a raffle ticket when they got there. If they had RSVP'd, which was most, but we had a couple of show up. If you had RSVP'd, you got another raffle ticket. If you did a testimonial, which was what we called the Share the Love, you can go to the next slide, I think, Eleanor.
Well, yeah, we got 2 on this.
Okay, so so the Share the Love, we called it Share What You Love About Shackley. We had a bulletin board, we had note cards. how many, 27 people wrote testimonials and stuck them
29.
on the board?
You said
29?
29.
Okay, there you go. It's written down there. 29 people wrote testimonials. Some of the testimonials were just, hey, I love Eleanor, or I love Mary Beth. The best thing about Shackley is, I love Eleanor. And that just affirms the community thing. And what do they love? They love getting together. They love us. And people have to know us, like us, and trust us, to do business.
But they actually did like some of the products, Mary Beth, like Matilda said, it works, or how Shackley offers great, safe products for me and my family. Skincare is great.
I
very
eat 3
easy to
less fast
order.
food meals a week because of Shackley.
Mhm.
I mean, they did. We got a great turmeric. We got a great cholesterol testimonial. And then we can use those testimonials for other things. Now we've got them. It's like permission. And then the other way they could earn a raffle ticket was by doing a social media post, supposedly there during the event. That didn't work well. So we've got to figure out how to make that work. For those of us.
Although
who
we
have-
did get some activity out there. It was we need help from maybe you guys after we're done here about tagging people and how if you have a business page in Facebook versus your personal page, that we got to figure out a smooth way to do that.
Right. People loved the idea of getting extra raffle tickets.
Yeah.
They were happy to
A
do
lot of
what,
fun.
now what else can I do? What do I do? So
Yeah.
we just sort of made it work for this, that we didn't talk Shackley.
Mm-mm.
We didn't have any agenda whatsoever. It was really fun to listen to them tell each other what they should be using, without us prompting it.
Yeah, I got those 2 girls that were talking to each other. The one sold the other one on the dishwash powder. And I got an order for dishwash powder the next day. So,
And Nutriferon, one of my guests was telling everybody they needed to be taking Nutriferon. So Eleanor's responsible for this little gift, so I'll let her talk about that.
yeah, and we just wanted to make sure that as they left that night that they felt cared for. Even though we give them a drink and we give them a fun party, that they had something to take home with them. And so we put a triple boost and Dr. Shackley's Thoughtsmanship, the little 10 rules book, and a little baggie with a heart. And they seemed to really appreciate it. So, I mean, it was just a simple little thing, but it was like they did feel cared for. And so I think that's the end of our thing. You can turn me, or I can quit sharing now. Okay.
We also gave them a brand new catalog. And I had a couple of my customers say, I've never had a catalog before. And these are some long-term customers. I'm like, gosh, I can do a better job about that, making sure they have catalogs in their hands. So
yeah, not everybody got one of those. We realized that we didn't do that either. So we have things that we tighten up, but all in all, we will do this again. It was a lot of fun. And if you all haven't had a customer appreciation event for a while, we recommend it.
Totally awesome, you guys. Totally awesome. Now I have 2 questions, and I'm sure there may be some others. One of the questions is, how much did it actually cost you as an investment? And I say investment because clearly this wasn't like I'm spending money. This is an investment in your customers. How much did it cost you? For that.
So the bottom line, when we were all done, because the drinks were only if somebody used them, but we had 39 drink vouchers turned in, and the charcuterie board. And actually, I didn't add the door prizes in. So whatever you would choose to use to give away for product would be on top of that. It was $413, Eleanor.
Yeah.
So
And then
just
we have the
about
cost of
$10.
the takeaway too. We have the cost of the takeaway and the decoration.
That's
But
true.
so let's say it's $12 to $15 a person.
But yeah, but less than 15.
Yeah.
Closer to 12 or 11 even. Yeah, it was a little over 10 per person. Could have done things slightly less, but actually most of the people that came, most of my people that came, I don't know if that's Eleanor's experience, are good customers.
Mhm.
These are people who buy monthly or frequently, are really good customers, and we're very happy to be there, and we're talking it up. So absolutely, I would spend $10 on a good customer, and it's been 4 years or 3.5 years since I've done anything like this. So it's been built up. And again, community, it was huge. Everyone kept coming up to me saying, you have the coolest people here. These are cool people. And it was very, and I'm not sure I was expecting that. It was a very affirming, instead of being one of those things when you're in a lot of crowds or it's, oh, Shackley, it's one of those. This was like, everyone is going, these are the cool kids. And I
Mhm.
got to be invited. I'm here with the cool kids, and everybody here was a cool kid. And it really was that kind of experience. So lots of fun.
That is just so, it's so energizing to hear this. Now I have one more question, and maybe you guys have some also. Was there anything specific you did to follow through afterwards?
Yep, Mary Beth did.
Well, today I sent an email out to all of the people that were there, to every one of my guests, and thanking them for coming, and then some follow-up. We do have some events coming up that I will continue, because now I've created an email list with those people, so I know who came. And we asked them if they had any pictures. I asked if they had any pictures to share them with us, told them who the door prize winners were, and asked them, said that we'd had some glitches with the social media, that we weren't seeing them. I think if some people did it, if they didn't tag us, we don't know they did anything. So I said, if you haven't done a social media post, please do, because we pretty much gave everybody on their honor of an extra raffle ticket. If they said, I'll do it, but I've only seen 2. Those 2 have gotten quite a lot of attention and attraction. So I did get a third one after the email went out. Someone called me or messaged me and said, how do I do that? Tell me. And she did. And she gave a great testimonial on social media. And then I told him that we were going to plan some events coming up and to stay tuned. So I am beginning to plan some sort of Earth Day, around Earth Day anyway, event where I will invite my local customers to join with me, just like Shackley Cares. And we're probably going to work at a pollinator garden. There's a city pollinator garden that I talked to today that they'd be happy to have an hour or 2 of help from a group. They do it all the time, to come in and do something. And I'm all into bees. So that would make a lot of sense. And that we would come together on a Saturday morning, work for an hour or 2, and then go to a coffee shop or a cafe or a brewery or whatever folks want to do. But we'd plan it ahead that we're going to come do this event together to make a difference, and then go play afterwards. So that's been my follow-up so far. We're going to follow up with them. We have an opportunity presentation coming up on the first Saturday of the month. We have Changing Brands Can Change Your Life on the second Saturday of the month. So we have things to invite them to as follow-up.
No, I think we need to add that Facial Friday thing. That's
Me
great.
too. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but I just think this is super inspiring, you guys. Are there a couple of questions for Elle and Mary Beth that you'd like to follow through with? And then I've got one more thing I want to do, and then we'll, so any special questions for them that we haven't handled? Besides huge kudos.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
I tell you, the hardest thing for me, well, I got a lot of hard things, but one of them is the invitation, getting the energy up to make the invitation. And I was so proud of myself because it was a little late. Like she said, I was like in the last minute there, but I finally got
after the RSVPs were due, she was calling everyone. And it worked. It worked.
Yeah. But having I did an email invitation. Mary Beth was good. She called people first and then sent the email. I sent the email invitation and then followed up and said, hey, did you get it? Because I want to make sure you know about it. And that was something that I did better this time.
And this was on a Thursday afternoon, was it?
Mhm.
Okay.
4 to 6.
I love it.
And we also told ourselves, make it simple, don't make it complicated. We took one banner that we put up. We didn't, and that bulletin board, and she took a table that she had to take. She didn't think she had to, but we didn't have to lug a whole bunch of stuff in. We didn't have to lug a whole bunch of stuff out. So we actually enjoyed the party, and that's why we didn't take pictures, because we were socializing. I was connecting people, but it was a fun time.
I just think that's sensational. That is really terrific, you guys. I have, what I will do is give you a suggestion that has helped me, and this fits in here. When I do the loyalty awards and things, when we mount up all these points, what I have done is I make a point of using those only personally for things that are gifts. The choice is only low PV items. Don't ever like go take your most precious thing. That's cutting, that's just not the way to do it. But what I do is I do teas, I do bars, I've just gotten a package of the snack crisps, which I completely forgot about. And I use those for crackers in my, when I do cheese and crackers at home, I don't go buy crackers. I mean, who gets PV on their crackers? And so what I do is I do those and use those in the freebies. So we're not really losing PV. We're just using something that's already a gift. And then I have put together, and I guess maybe let me see if I can show you this one. I put together the freebies.
And while you're looking
maybe-
that up, we also
Yeah,
gave them
maybe.
raffle tickets if they had a loyalty order. So then people would say, do I have a loyalty order? What's a loyalty order? Because it was on the list. How do I get a raffle? Well, get a loyalty order.
Let me see if I can find, let me see if this comes up. Okay, can you see this? Can you see this? No, you can't see it?
Well,
We're
we can
No,
see
I'm-
the,
Seeing your list or your file, not the actual document.
Oh, you can't see the document. Okay, hold on. Let me see what I have to do to bring that up.
Yeah, open the document and then share your screen.
Okay. Now I gotta find screen share here. Hang on. Scott, can you share my screen? It's taken up so much of my screen, I can't see my screen share.
no, you have to do it. Just
Oh,
roll down to the bottom.
well, golly shucks. Hold on. Hold on. Well, why can't?
Carolyn, I think I
see-
can do it for you.
Oh, good, okay.
Is that what you wanted to show us?
The goodies. The goodies sheet.
Yep.
Can you guys see it? Okay, so,
Yep, we got
Yes.
it.
okay, so if you've got it on your screen share, there you go. Okay, so I put this together, and this will be one of the things that that'll be in our attachments. I just put this goodie sheet together. I call it the goodies because they're some of the things that we can give away as samples. So I put the tea, the immunity boost, and the two choices of the energy boost. And then along with that, the energy chews, a snack bar, and the snack crisps and the meal bar. So I just put that sheet together. And what I sometimes do on the front page, because you can actually staple something there, is I would actually staple one of the teas, not necessarily all of them, but a couple of the teas. I'd staple the immunity boost, and I'd staple a couple of the energy boost. So when they get the sheet, they've actually got those. And then the others you don't staple, but they can just kind of go into a little sheet protector or just as a handout. So then they know what it is they're getting and just do that as highlights. And I just took all that information off of the product guides. So you're welcome to use these, but these are things that I just keep them. I have a counter now of my goodie sheets. So when a customer comes in, when I'm, sending something, when I see people, sometimes I'll just take this with me and then give them the goodie sheet along with the various products. So you're welcome to use that. We're going to include that in the attachments. So thank you. So let's have the opportunity. First of all, Ruth, thank you. Do you have questions for Mary Beth and for Elle? Because I think you guys are just stunning.
No, that was really exciting what you guys did. I did something similar Thanksgiving weekend for our people and had about 50 people that showed up for that. And it's just for people to see we're all normal. Well, mostly. Is kind of part of it.
We're extraordinary. We really
There you
are.
go.
This
There you
community is
go.
not normal. It's
There you go.
extraordinary.
But I would like to, and I'm assuming it's going to be in the stuff that's going to be sent out tomorrow, how to get the entries into, or the door prize tickets, the list of things that you guys did, because I missed all the things you mentioned. So, but no, that sounded like awesome. Awesome. And by the way, as long as I'm chatting, I did find, okay, and it went away because, hold on, I was looking for something for you. So let me get back to there. Frank Painter has the Health Quest newsletter. He's done that for a while. And there it is. Okay. And I had not seen these before and afters before. I don't know if you guys have, but I'm not going to go through all of them because the link will be included tomorrow. But what I did was I had my laptop there and I had them scroll through these. And everybody was just wow, wow, wow. You know, this one, not even a month. And some are classics that we've seen all along the way. I had not seen this one before. And what about Gary Newman? It was just like, wow. And so this is just a link at his website, healthquestnewsletter.com/youth_file.shtml, in case somebody wanted to do it right now. But it's going to be, I sent the link to Ray to include in everything tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Those
just scroll through these with them, and they were, you know, just it was great. It was just a terrific, wonderful day, and we weren't even tired after doing it 6 times.
Wow.
Well, we did drink a lot of protein in between. So
Those are retouched photographs, correct?
yes, correct.
There's another sheet that I like using for youth, and that is the 2 sides of safe and proven. So the safe side is the list of the number of ingredients that are not allowed in products, and in the US it's like 8, and in Europe it's like 14 or something, and that of these youth products 2,500 ingredients are not allowed in the products. So I like using the concept of safe, and then the concept of proven obviously is supported by the pictures and by their stats of 100%, got benefits in 7 days and whatever they were, but just having those as things that people can see, so that I like using the concepts of safe and proven, that those are the 2 things that we get to offer to people. And of course, it's all backed up by being able to say the most clinically proven wellness company in the world, to be able, I guess you probably can't see that, but anyway, having that on a card just so people know that what they're really getting. So let me stop. First of all, I want to make sure we just totally thank you guys, but I want to open this up to see if any of you have questions or things that you'd like to ask while we have the gift of having our 3 royal presenters tonight. Anybody got any particular comments or questions?
Anybody that wants to jump in here, just hold your space bar down while you talk.
All right, then we're just gonna let everybody celebrate. And Ruth, you had something
Let me
else?
just add
Sure,
one more
you bet.
thing.
You bet.
Only because I've gotten such good feedback from my customers. Do any of you have a subscription to AmericanGreetings.com online? It's literally $20 for a year. they have some of the best birthday cards in there. I mean, Dolly Parton wishing you a happy birthday with your name and lights behind her. And, but there's some beautiful Valentine's Day cards. And I'm telling you, I'm terrible at sending cards out, but it's the best $20 investment I've ever made. And everyone loves it. And I specifically went online this week and all of my super great customers and my builders and my business partners and sent them a Valentine that they're going to get tomorrow morning. Now, yeah, some of them probably aren't going to open it just because some people don't check their email, but the ones that do, it's just that little added, hey, you know, thank you for being there all the time. Somebody does love and appreciate you. So just another little something I'm doing for customer appreciation that I just wanted to share because I'm not getting anything from American Greetings, but for $20, check it out.
Excellent, Ruth. Great. So any other comments or questions? And if not, I would like to see everybody open up your mics and let's just have a gigantic thank you for.
Thank you,
this
girls. You
really
were terrific.
Totally
Awesome.
Thanks,
special.
Ruth.
Thank you,
Good job.
ladies.
Totally awesome.
Great job. Great job,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Great job.
Thank you all so much for the inspiration and the reminder that this is really the Shaklee culture, the Shaklee heritage, the community, the hands-on, the support, and being supported by these most clinically proven wellness products in the world to just be able to get them out to people. So thank you all so much for contributing to us tonight. Thanks to Scott for being our host and organizing. And just so you remember, beginning sometime tomorrow or whenever we get Scott, Scott's in Arizona. So if you go to opastuff.org, that is where these calls are archived. And that's where we will make sure that we have all of the attachments. I will add the how do you feel today attachment. I will add the attachment on a questionnaire for in-home groups. Let me see what else. There was a couple of other things. I can't remember. Which products do you use? Those are all attachments that we will put in so that you can use them as you begin to create whatever events or individual conversations that you want to have. So anything else from anybody that we forgot?
I just want to say, Carolyn, it's so nice to hear that we're getting together with people again, face to face. And that's how we all built before the COVID and stuff. And we're back to it and it works. It works so much better than Zoom or anything else. If you can get together with people and hug and tell them how much you love them, well, I tell you what, it makes all the difference in the world.
Hey, Ray. I
Yes.
totally appreciate.
Thank you for sharing your exciting ideas.
But Ray, the thing is, the screen time stuff that we're being forced into is all social media. You got to have a social media presence, got to be digital.
Yeah.
I think getting back to person is where we're going to have our best effect.
Well, I agree with you 100%. Absolutely.
Yep.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for an inspiring time. We are grateful for your friendship, for your contributions, and for all of us to make this as a commitment that we can reach out to this wonderful Shaklee family that we get to start with. Thanks everybody for being with
Okay.
us.
Good
And thanks,
night.
Scott.
Good night, folks.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you.